Hello and welcome to Glorious Miniatures. My name's Jolyon and we have another Horus Heresy Thursday for you. It is the 25th of January 2024, and once you've finished smashing that follow button or subscribe button and liking the video, etc., we will jump straight into it. I'm going to have to do this like so. So here we go. What just happened? Webcomics? Okay, well, here we go. So here we go. The Shattered Legions and Black Shields star in the next expansion for Warhammer, the Horus Heresy. Hello there. Black Shields. I like the sound of that already. It's hard to believe that any campaign from the Age of Darkness can come close to the savagery of the Siege of Terror. But if there is one, it's the Battle for Beta-Garmon. This strategically vital cluster swapped between a loyalist and traitor hands several times, with its vicious battles earning ominous sobriquets like the Soul Plague, the Reign of Plasma, the Great Slaughter, and infamous Titan Death. Doesn't it just make you want to pitch in yourself? Well, now you can in the next campaign book for Warhammer, the Horus Heresy. Look at that majestic beast on the front. Okay, great new book. I've obviously got, oh god, the Exemplary Battle book right behind me on this shelf behind me. I'll obviously be getting this one regardless. I like the artwork already. Let's have a little read about it, shall we? Following the pattern of the classic Black Books and the Siege of Chthoniya, which I also have, the Battle for Beta-Garmon is loaded with background lore from the first embers to the raging fires of its conclusion. Sanguinius and Jagatai Khan are deployed to hold back the advance of Warmaster Horus, and forces from across the breadth of the Imperium are pitched into a battle that will leave billions upon funeral pyres. Along with its extensive story sections, this campaign book also includes a wide variety of expanded rules content for all kinds of Horus Heresy players. Always good. Lots of lore and rules. Well, I would prefer lots of lore. Rules don't have to deal with yet, but this year I definitely would like to have to worry about learning the rules. The new Onslaught campaign system pits teams of players against each other in an effort to force a decisive battle and claim ultimate victory. This quick-firing string of connected games is a great way to play out a campaign over a weekend, with a maximum of 6 games taking place before the final climactic confrontation decides it all. Okay, so that's sort of, what, 7 games potentially? That's a good way to run a sort of like mini campaign, isn't it? You can also theme your Onslaught campaign after the events in the Garmon cluster, which adds additional campaign stratagems for modifying your forces pre-game, and tasks loyalist forces with selling their lives as dearly as possible for more time to reinforce terror. Tracked by the chillingly named Mortifaction Index, this gives loyalists a greater chance of seizing strategic advantage as their casualties mount. Okay, dokie then. That is the artwork that's going to be on the new book, obviously. Wouldn't like to be one of these heads just sort of mounted on his sort of hips, etc., around his waist. This is the Horus Ascended miniature. I definitely prefer this to his previous incarnation. And I do wonder if they are going to do alternate, like, secondary sculpts for the Loyalist Primarchs as well. Because obviously we got Fulgrim as well. I'm expecting them to go through all of them and get another version. Maybe we'll get some headless versions as well. Beyond the campaign itself, the Shattered Legions and the Black Shields return as playable factions. Formed from the survivors of the Drop Site Massacre and other disastrous battles, the Shattered Legions forces are ad hoc armies composed of troops from many different legions, Salamanders, Raven Guard, Iron Hands, and more, mixing together even with individual squads. This diversity makes for an extremely flexible and characterful rule set, with a wide variety of special abilities depending on the predominant factions within each unit. Advanced players can use these rules to customize their army to an unparalleled degree, while those looking for a rich narrative experience can embrace the confusion of the early heresy by throwing caution to the wind and mixing their legions together at random. Well, I like the sound of this. I do like... I have been eyeing up Raven Guard recently and Salamanders, so I'm trying not to get too excited about this already. Scroll down. There we go. There's a little Shattered Legion there. By contrast, the Black Shields have a more cohesive structure that can be used to represent the many independent warbands that prowl the galaxy, be they fugitives from a legion they reject, or displaced space marines collecting around a charismatic leader. These armies can be accustomed by selecting two oaths, which set a distinct framework around which the warband is built, granting additional war gear options for or abilities. That is a sweet paint job. I like it. That's very cool. I like it a lot. There's still more. Legendary heroes from the campaign get all new rules, such as Little Horus, Aximand, Tybalt Mar, Shadrach Medicine, and Endred Har. A real a treat for those who followed the events of Beta-Garmon through the Black Library series. Then there are rules for the Aethon Heavy Sentinel, revealed at the recent online preview, along with a few more treats for the Solar Auxilia. This epic campaign book is designed very much as a companion piece to the first supplement to Legions Imperialis, The Great Slaughter, which concentrates on the huge sweeping battles of the campaign, while this one focuses on more character-driven narrative encounters. And with the Sons of Horus and the Blood Angels as major players, their armory sets can really make your forces stand out. It'll be released later this year with a plenty of plastic Solar Auxilia releases on the way. It's a great time to be planning for a narrative Horus Heresy campaign. The Great Slaughter will also be out a little later this year, apparently, which is a good thing. I must say, I do like this paint job. I do like this paint scheme. As someone who's just about to start a little Death Guard army supported by a few World Eaters and supported by a few Sons of Horus, or vice versa, I'm not quite sure the best way to have the army laid out. Currently, my main thought is Death Guard leading Sons of Horus or World Eaters as allies, but maybe the other way around is better. I do like the idea of the Black Shields and the Shattered Legions. It sort of gives one a good example, a good choice of army design, and basically picking and choosing a lot of the units you like. Like, there's definitely some units of World Eaters, for example, that I like. Same with Sons of Horus and also Death Guard. So maybe this is what I should be doing rather than a specific Death Guard army. I don't know. It's definitely thrown a bit of a spanner in the works, because I do have a Chaos Reaver Titan for 40k as a major project this year, so maybe we could center it all around that. Who knows? Let me know in the comments below, all that sort of stuff, what your opinions are. As for the Shattered Legions, as I was saying earlier, well, I do watch quite a lot of battle reports. Which one did I watch most recently? I watched was it Winters with his with his Raven Guard, that army that looked very awesome, and I was looking at all those javelins and getting very tempted by it. It was very frustrating to having just thought of one army instantly start thinking of another, but there we go. So that is the Horus Heresy article for today. I would like to continue to do all of these sorts of articles as and when they appear. So obviously the Horus Heresy Thursday will continue. It is definitely a sort of shorter stream. In the future, like once the studio is built, then potentially we will extend it to more of maybe potentially even a hobby stream rather than just an article. But time is important and all that sort of stuff, so it will really depend on what happens once that studio is finished being building. Now, we do have a few other articles What is this one? This is the first Warhammer, the Old World events at Warhammer World are coming soon. Okay. So this is the Old World is now released. I'm still awaiting on my Bretonnian army. As I have said, there was a hiccup during the ordering. I suspect it is on its way. It's just there was a delay on their side. So my Bretonnians will happen. I have been pondering paint schemes and things for them already, and currently I've still got no idea what I'm going to go with. But we will be doing Old World tutorials, well, content on this channel as and when. But this is we got so Middle Earth strategy battle game, doubles matched play at Warhammer World, 25th and 26th of May. Warhammer, the Old World, Battles in the Border Princes. So this is another match play event over the weekend of the 20th and 21st of April. I'm definitely not going to be able to do any of that. Need an army first. So Warhammer, the Horus Heresy, Legions Imperialis, Galaxy at War. That is also at Warhammer World. And that is on the 8th of May, the Wednesday. And then there's another one. When is this? The 15th of May. 1,250 points at Warhammer World. I definitely plan on going up to Warhammer World at some point. Getting to there from here is relatively easy. Unfortunately, I will have to take the dreaded train, but there's only so much one can do when one doesn't drive. And what do we got here? Blood Bowl. Yes. I did see something about this. The Black Library Celebration 2024. That is already a sort of contentious thing, potentially, with the Siege of Terror finally being wrapped up and mostly annihilated by scalpers, etc. They did cancel a bunch of orders that were put through by bots on Saturday, and they went up yesterday again. I did log into the website, not in the interest of buying the books, because frankly I'm just buying them in paperback. I missed the window. Would I've gotten in on the limited editions way back when if I'd been around? I don't know. I would be very, I'm going to say frustrated and be very polite when I say that. I'd be very frustrated if I had the entire collection and was missing a couple or one of the limited edition books, because it's just one of those things. So I'm glad I got in on the paper. I hope everyone who wanted the limited edition somehow manages to get it without going to eBay, etc. But that system definitely needs looking at, because whatever they did add some, like a little code you have to type in. I've completely forgotten what they call it. On the Warhammer webpage, they have the queuing system. Then you type in the little code at the bottom to sort of apparently get rid of like automated systems buying it. But I think these automated systems completely bypass the queue somehow. So it's not really helping anyone. So this is Black Library Celebration 2024. What is... Did I not click this? I could have sworn I did. Saved it. I did. It was right here. Close tab. So, every year we celebrate the best and brightest of the Warhammer literary universe at the Black Library Celebration. This year's event is flush with new stories from your favourite Warhammer series, ranging from mega editions to new tales of Orky daring do. I would like to get the book Brutal Cunning. I've not read any Orc books, and I think I would like to. This miniature is... There's a word for it. It's magnificent. Look at that gun. Look at that gun. I definitely need this miniature. Let me double check if they mention anything about it. This is also where you'll be able to get your great green fists on Ufhak Black Hawk and his pet squig Princess, the Orky star of Brutal Cunning, and the new feature novel The Big Dacker, both by Mike Brooks. And if you picked up your shockingly green edition, special edition of Brutal Cunning last year, there's a matching version of The Big Dacker to go along with it. So is this going to be... It's not going to... No, because I've purchased these miniatures before via the internet, via the interwebs. So I am definitely going to get this. I would like to get a little Orky army together. I've got the combat patrol already, so more orcs is always good. Fervent collectors won't want to miss the epic mega edition of Morvenval Spear of Faith, which is so packed with awesome extras that it comes in its own presentation box. It's a fascinating examination of the life and duties of this relatively recent appointee to the High Lords of Terror, and it even comes with an extra 54-page book entitled The Book of Saints. Okay. Lots of stuff in there. I must say, I've not read much about Morven, so while I won't be getting this particular book, it's definitely something I'm going to have to start reading up on. As is tradition, the winners of the Reader's Choice vote will return to shelves in new paperback editions. This time around, we're dipping back into deeds of dark terror with the Night Lord's novel, Lord of the Night, by Simon Spurrier, while two old world comrades go from friend to foe amidst the wilds of Kislev and Dan Abnett's Riders of the Dead. It's all happening online right here on Warhammer Community between the 5th and 9th of February, so a couple of weeks away still. There will also be further celebrations in your local Warhammer store during February. Contact your local store for details. I finally got a local store, like a properly local store. It's a sort of 10-minute walk at most away from me, so I'm very happy about that. Having lived out in the sticks for ages, having a local shop in town where I'm living is a magnificent thing. There'll be much more to see during the Black Library celebration, including a brand new eShort subscription week coming soon after. So join us in February and keep up to date with everything Black Library by signing up for the newsletter. That is very true. You could indeed do that. I was looking earlier at their web shop. I was hoping desperately that we had a bit of restock since the release. We had absolutely nothing. I was hoping to get my mitts on specifically these two miniatures right here. The Battle Standard Bearer, mounted and on foot, and the Questing Knight Paladin. I was wanting these two. And also I would like to get the Hand Maiden of the Lady as well. These are all forgeworlds, so we're going to have to wait on those. And eventually I will probably be getting some of these as well, but not yet. I will note that Element Games have had some stock back in. They've already sold out of the Kingdom of Bretonia, though, but if the Old World Tomb Kings of Khemri tickles your fancy, do consider using my affiliate link. There is one in the description below. It will save you a little bit of money, and well, you do save a little bit of money. They do have discounts and stuff, but also it won't cost you any extra money is what I actually meant to say. It'll give me a little bit of kickback. As per usual sort of things with affiliate links, have to make that very clear. But yes, so the main thrust of today, Shattered Legions and Black Shields. I'm very keen on both, unfortunately for my wallet, but there we go. We will be doing, I think we're mostly kind of leaning more towards Horus Heresy and probably the Old World. I do have an ongoing love for Mordheim and Necromunda, so we will be doing various things like that as well in the future. And obviously 40k. So basically most things when I get a chance, when I get time. So that's all I'm going to say. Make sure that you have indeed liked, subscribed, and indeed hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss any future videos. I'm currently going live rather than making videos just because of a time situation. I'm trying to sort of work on my website, which you should definitely check out over at gloriousminiatures.com. I am working on it slowly. I am currently adding 233 items to the web store. It's the web store is mostly it's just for testing at the moment. There's nothing going to be live in it quite yet. Once the print shop is back up and running, then all those items will go fully live. But yeah, so do check it out. And that's all I got to say. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.